Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Cobb. I also go by the moniker of Old Jazz Cat. But I'm doing this very special video for my friends at We Stand Undivided. I feel very honored that they reached out to me and asked me to just provide a little insight, my opinion, to post on their website and their page. I am a member of We Stand Undivided, so I do want to make that clear. But anyway, we're in June. And June is historically known as Black Music Month. But what I wanted to talk to you today about is the events that are occurring in our world today, the COVID-19 pandemic and the resurrection of the Black Lives Matter movement based on the tragic murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and the list goes on and on. I thought it was very interesting to try to tie June, Black Music Month, to the events that are occurring. And the first thing that struck me was, okay, we have Black Music Month and everyone's celebrating the black man's contribution to music. So the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, so we are accepted as equals in this society if it's entertainment, sports, something that can be appropriated by the power structure, to be honest with you. Something that can make money for the power structure. We're equals in that arena, but we're not equal as human beings in this society, as reflected by the proliferation of police brutality that's been occurring for 400 years that has never stopped. Fortunately, unfortunately, we do have the mechanism now where these things are being recorded and shown to the world and exposed for what they are. So the black man, I'm using that term, of course, generically, includes women, children, and all types of people. We're okay as long as we're contributing something that can be culturally appropriated. And I want to specify that this particular video, I'm talking to my people, black people, people of African descent. This is not a people of color issue. We were the only people that were legally unfree in a free country. Therefore, our journey, our experience is unique. No one else can share that. Yeah, you hear people say like, well, there was slavery here, slavery there, and we were discriminated against, and blah, blah, and that is all very true. The LGBTQ community is, catching a lot of hell as we speak. Latinx, Asians, all types of ethnic minorities in this country have caught hell, but no one was enslaved like people of African descent, like my ancestors were. So again, we're celebrating Black Music Month. And in the background, I chose a tune called Freedom Now that was made by Max Roach in early 1960s, features Abby Lincoln and Oscar Brown Jr. wrote the lyrics and things like that. And for those who do follow my Old Jazz Cat page, I like to share the history of jazz. Now, I will tie in one thing. Of all the genres, maybe hip hop may be the closest genre that I can think of, but of all the genres, the artists who were jazz musicians were far, far ahead when it came to social issues. They wrote tunes addressing the injustices at the time, tunes that sadly are very appropriate even today. But again, we do celebrate June as Black Music Month, and we could write a book on what the contributions of black people have been to the music history of this country. We are the seminal people when it comes to American music. Country, rock, things like that all are rooted and blues for the most part. So therefore, when you say Black Music Month, I mean, that's almost like, such a minuscule way of kind of appreciating the contributions that Black people have made to American culture, specifically in the genre of music. But again, we sit here on the precipice of a revolution, cultural revolution. I pray that it doesn't become a physical bloodshed revolution, but we are there. We're at the door. We're at the doorstep based on the events. So, as they did back in the day, back in slavery times, the slaves used music to kind of code things. They also used music as a relief for their condition. And civil rights movement, the great music came out of the civil rights movement. Different people contributed, from Bob Dylan to Nina Simone, just all kinds of myriad of people contributed music to the civil rights movement. So here we are today. And June being Black Music Month, will there be a canon of music that will come out of this particular movement? Who knows? I would venture to guess maybe some hip hop artists may be preparing that as we speak, type of thing. But music has always been an underlying thread or an underlying stream of consciousness for movements in this country. And I'm glad we transitioned to a song called Triptych, which is prayer, protest, and so that's what you hear in the background. You hear Abby Lincoln doing the piece called Triptych, which is very appropriate for today's time. But again, I want to thank my friends at We Stand Undivided for giving me a little bit of your time. And hopefully you have thought about, what I've discussed, and would love to hear your opinion on what I've said. And I want to thank specifically the founder and administrator of We Stand Undivided for extending the invitation. So at this point, music has a way of describing the human condition better than probably any other form of art, even more than visual art, more than writing, more than literature. Music expresses human emotions in a kind of way that's so unique and so special. So June is Black Music Month. We're on the precipice of a revolution. Go back. Spotify, do the things that people do nowadays, or if you have a record collection like I do, go back, glean some through your collection. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised at the amount of music that speaks to today's time. Again, my name is Tony Cobb, also go by the moniker of Old Jazz Cat. Thank you for allowing me to share this video with you. And as I traditionally sign off, I'll say peace and blessings, and stay creative. Bye.